Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Love Experience Show. I am your host, Ashley J. I am a wife, mother, author, speaker, a couples therapist, relationship and dating consultant, and many other things. And I am so happy that you are here with us today. Y'all, it is the final installment, the final episode with Miss Molly Bates. And I'm excited to hear how we're going to wrap this whole series up. It was such a great series, and I hope that you were able to get something out of it. She was dropping gems the whole time. So I'm excited to see where we go with this one tonight. Molly, you
Hey
want to
y'all,
talk
hey.
about
I have to do an introduction, but y'all know me as Molly Bates. My real name is Shanika. I'm an author, speaker. I'm an owner of Girl Get Up, Get Dressed. I am a stylist. I'm all things beauty, makeup artist, stylist, and I just help women to show up for themselves in each and every way possible.
there you go. All right. So I'm excited about tonight. Are you ready?
I'm nervous.
Why
I
are
don't know why
you
I'm
nervous?
nervous this time. I don't know. I'm nervous, but I'm ready. Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. All right. Don't be nervous, y'all. Um, just come on in, get the comments flowing like how I like you to do and how you have been doing. And I'm super excited to get this discussion started. So tonight we are looking at the future. So let's go back to night one. Molly was talking about the different things that she experienced before the point she's at right now. Different things she's experienced in dating and marriage and um, love and her singleness. Last week we talked about we went a little deeper into the things that she discussed in the first episode. Tonight we're going to talk about the future, what she believes her future holds um, for today and moving forward. I'm excited. So, all right. First question. How do you visualize the future Molly?
I visualize her as being what do I see? I see her as showing up as the best version of herself. I see her showing up as the best version of herself, more confident in who she's becoming. Because each time we go through, a different phase of our lives, for me, it always bring out a little bit of like timidness in a way. I
Mm-hmm.
want to really move past the timidness of growth. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
become. I see myself doing more, like writing more books. I see myself mentoring more women. I see myself being a beauty mogul. Uh,
Okay.
like really see me having this just taking off in the beauty industry as a Christian girl, and happy, a better mother. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
woman
Mm-hmm.
and motherhood, each and every
Mm-hmm.
way possible.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, that's how I see myself.
Okay. So, what does happiness look like?
Happiness looks like I feel like happiness is just whatever, being content with whatever season I am in my life. You know what I mean? Learning to be content with whatever season that I'm in, because we're constantly growing and learning. Sometimes like I said before, being content, you know what I mean, in those different seasons, like those unfamiliar territories. I'm styling more people now, and it's like, who can I really do it? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And like, no, you got this. You know what I'm saying? Being happy that God is allowing me to even be able to steward, this level of influence, and also, you know what I mean? Like it's just becoming. You know what I mean? Like it's just
Okay.
happiness look like becoming to me.
Okay. I like that. Becoming. Okay. So, with your happiness,
Mm-hmm.
what are the things that you are going to expect for your future self?
Okay, so my expectations for my future self is never lowering your standards. Again,
Okay.
you know what I mean? Like that's my expectation for me is really not lowering my standards, even when I feel like I want to. Like I feel like settling because the settling is the easy way out. Sometimes I
Mm-hmm.
feel like no more, no more of that. Like I'm ready to just like go through my process of really getting what God wants for me, and really just waiting and in my whatever waiting season.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now, how long do you foresee yourself remaining single before you get the one that God has for you?
Um, I'm open to dating now. Like, I think I'm really close to like really stepping out there. Like
Okay.
like you feel yourself shifting into like, okay, now it's time to get back out there to learn and to
Mm-hmm.
grow. I don't know how long that process might be, but I'm open to like seeing what that experience looking like. See what the future Molly like when it comes to dating, not settling. You know what I mean, or not compromising. Like knowing what you're going in for dating for, like knowing what you want in a spouse, knowing what you're, the big picture.
Yeah.
Dating for purpose. You know what I mean? Like looking at it as okay, can this person know how to cover me? Do he have does he have the capacity to be with a woman like me? You know what I mean? Like I'm looking for something when I'm dating. I can't tell because I don't know who watching and I want to, you know what I'm saying?
That's
Nobody
fine.
just try to pull up and be like, I know what she wants. Let me give it to her. But like, it's a certain thing that I'm looking in a man to be able to cover me in a certain way that God sees fit.
So I'm hearing a lot of people use this term. I know the first time I heard it was from my husband. Dating with the intent to get married. So from what you're explaining, that sounds like what you want to do.
Mhm.
Is that
Yeah,
right?
that's
Okay.
that's the whole thing. Like we with the intention of getting married, and if it's not, you know what I do? I used to do. Be like, oh, I like this good quality over this, not what quality of the man here, but they'll be suffering so much in another area, and it would literally deplete me. And in my spirit, I was like, oh my goodness, but I'm like, he's such a good guy. Like he'll be perfect if he could just do this, if he could do this. So I'm no longer trying
Mhm.
to build a man or none of that. Like however you come is what it is, and I'm not trying to change anything. And I'm just gonna move quickly. Like I'm not gonna, stay in that place. Sometimes I feel sorry. Our hearts, women, we are such helpers.
Mhm.
Created to be helpmeets. You know what I mean? We see a man,
Mhm.
we just wanna patch him up. Like it's gonna be okay. I love you in spite of, unconditionally. But yeah, we do love unconditionally. But when it comes down to purpose, you have to love with some type of conditions. Like it has to be something, holding the love together. Because love is more than just love. It's respect. It's loyalty. It is. It's patient. It's kind. No, according to the Bible, it remembers no wrongdoing. So like you have to pick and you have to choose. You have to use wisdom when you choose. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So here's the thing. A lot of times when we see that one good quality, and that's what we focus on, right?
Yeah.
We become blinded by that one good quality. And then when we start to see the, I won't say failures, the areas that he needs to grow in, we kind of look past that. Or we will take the stance of, oh, you know what? I'm gonna help you get to that place. That's not your job. He needs to be there in order for you to even spend time with him. He needs to be you like you cannot put blinders on. And this is not just for you, this is for anybody. You cannot put blinders on when it comes to dealing with the matters of your heart
Mm.
because you need you need to, as you said, don't lower your standards. You can't, don't go down to where they are. They need to come up to where you are.
I'm up. Hmm.
And that means if he look real good, the package is great. If the
Yeah.
package is fantastic, but the present is not there, you're gonna have to let the package walk by.
Mm-hmm.
You are like you can't no. I love that you're cute, but
I love it.
no, thank you.
Oh,
You
thank
you don't you don't measure up.
you. Agree.
That man, he needs to be. If I would even say he may not be all the way there, but if he can show you that he is consistently working on getting there and that you believe he will get there by the time y'all say, let's get married.
Yeah.
Okay, you can spend some time with that person. But if you don't see him consistently working on it, do not waste your time.
Yeah. I done it. Whew.
Don't waste your time because then you became somebody's mama.
Oh,
And
Lord.
that's not what you're supposed to be doing.
Oh, Jesus.
That's not what you're supposed to be doing.
Whew. Lord, no. We can't do that.
And then you got all of these other dynamics that come into play. Like he's gonna start feeling emasculated. You're gonna start feeling like I'm sick and tired of having to tell him how to do this. Why doesn't he know how? You should have thought about that when you was too busy trying to get him to come up to where you are.
That builder man ain't no joke. Trust me, I did it. Don't
Only
do it.
man I'm building
Right.
is my child.
That's it.
My husband, I am going to push him along. I'm going to love him where he needs to be loved. I'm going to support him where he needs to be supported. But he does not need me to build him. Because honestly, I was surprised, but he was the come up.
Come on.
He already had the stuff that
Okay.
I needed in my life. And I had to come up to where he was.
Hmm.
So I'm just, that's all I'm going to say.
That's good. I like that. I think it's more so like, people have, when you was just talking, I just seen like people with the love languages, right? Like
Hmm.
I'm not, right now I can't, like my love language has caused me so much because I, like you said, the package for me was financially. I don't want to work. I ain't never want to work so much. Listen, I don't want to be out here in these streets working and busting and that was never my, never my thing. I think, you know what I'm saying? That was never like, I'm okay with it now, but
Hmm.
that never was my thing. So I had men, whoever could provide, that was my love language. Like, you provide for me, I would love to be in a house. You know what I'm saying? And
Hmm.
I was like, okay, this love language just get me in trouble. So now I don't have a love language. Like, I'm looking for all of whatever, physical, everything. Like,
Hmm.
I'm looking for affirmations. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking for more
Hmm.
than just one specific area because I noticed that area kind of got me in trouble. So I'm like, you know what? Let me tweak this thing. Like, let me tweak what I want and how I feel about a man and what I, want in a man. It's more,
Hmm.
it has to be more than financially stable. Like, he has to be more than just financially stable. He has to come with some qualities, some different type of qualities. You know what I'm saying? Able to
Hmm.
listen. You know what I mean? Like,
Hmm.
gentle in heart, like, not just because some people just their masculinity, they think because they can do whatever they want. No, not this time.
Yeah.
Like, I need a little bit of everything. This has to balance his way out. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Yeah.
So finances was your love language, then you were looking for security.
Yeah. Yeah, for being like not secure in so many different other areas. I think that was like, you know what I mean? Like, but that was like the younger version of me. So now as I'm
Mhm.
growing in my womanhood, it's like, yeah, Molly, that's not gonna work. You know what I mean? You gotta talk to yourself like that. You can't just be looking just for that. And some people might say it's a gold digger. No, I never been a gold digger because I always had stuff to bring to the table. I never was after money. It was just stability, like you
Okay.
said. It never was like, oh, I'm just talking to this person for money. It just happened to be that that was interested in me had money. So like, it was, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was what it was, and that was one of the main qualities that I noticed that I found, attractive in a man. Like, because like I said, I watched my mother work
Mm-hmm.
umpteen hours. I wanted to be home with my kids. Like, like I like how the structure of, what I'm saying, a traditional like woman. I watched my grandma that was, stay home with the kids. You know what I'm saying? That was the
Mm-hmm.
most functional person I have seen operating. Like, you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I kind of admire her, but I didn't know what she went through until she got older. Like until I got older. I'm sorry. So
Okay.
yeah, like it was just, it is what it is. Like, but I did look for security in many different areas, but now it's like, no, God secure me. I'm secure. God take good care of me. So I'm not looking, no longer looking for a man to do that for me.
There you go.
Mm-hmm. She coming with her own bag, her own money, you know,
And
her own. Listen, because they be listen. I'm coming with my own stuff. I'm not coming, what I'm saying, empty handed.
that part.
Mm-mm.
That part. Okay. So, are you looking for someone that can be a good role model or
That's like absolute. That's like that is not okay. That is the number one thing right now.
okay.
That is the most. That is the number one thing now that I have boys, young men. That is the number one thing on my list is the role. Like I need to see how he is as a man, as as a leader with children. Like, do he have
Mm-hmm.
children? Like, I'm balancing it out, trying to figure it out. Like, do I want somebody with children or without children? Like,
Okay.
'cause, children has experience. They understand. Somebody without children might not understand how. So we gotta figure. Me and God gotta figure that out. Like, how does that look like? What does it look like? And if the person doesn't have children, does he have the capacity to, what I'm saying, be a father? Not saying they're gonna be his father, but a father figure and a role model inside of our home.
Mm-hmm. That's the thing.
That's the
Blending a family, that can go
yeah,
two different ways.
yeah,
Whether they got kids or not. Like that can go two different ways. And I feel like the communication
mm-hmm,
between the two parents,
mm-hmm,
the people that are trying to blend their families, has to be very, very open.
yeah,
And you have to talk about everything when it comes to that process of blending your family. And I mean, a lot of times people will forget to talk about something as small as disciplining the children. Well, did you say it was okay that they discipline your kid? You can't get mad if they discipline the kid and y'all didn't talk about it. It you gotta talk about this stuff. That was just an example.
woo! Oh Lord, that's big right there.
It
Like,
is.
you know what I'm saying? It gotta be the see. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I gotta pray about that because I don't know like how I feel about that. Like discipline. What does discipline look like? First of all, like is it physical? Because I'm not really a physical. You know what I'm saying?
If that ain't what you do, then I
Yeah.
mean, you can't expect them to do that.
Now, not verbally abuse, but I'm saying like verbally, like my voice holds weight. Like if I say
Yeah,
something, jump. They be like, hold up, wait a minute, let me do it.
yeah.
Whatever he's saying, let me just do it. But I don't know. Like that's something I have to pray about. I mean, I'm not dating. I'm really not dating no man that beat on children. Like period. Like I'm. If you that's an absolute no for me. Like you can't just come in and just like pop in. No,
Yeah.
no. I'm sorry. Love you, but
And but that's the thing, like that's a prime example. That is something that y'all would have to talk about
yeah.
because
Oh Lord.
so many people, that would be something that somebody else would be like, you know what? I don't do that, so I don't expect him to do that, so I'm not gonna say nothing.
Yeah.
But you have to talk about it. That's a very real part of the relationship.
Because when I go out there, I need to have these questions, like, together. That is it right there. Because you know what, my kids are not really just like bad. Like they don't really they stay to themselves. They really like do their own little thing. But yeah, let me write that down.
Um, listen, I'm telling, and I can tell you, as when I
Yes.
got with my husband, I didn't have any children.
Yes.
He had already had a daughter.
Okay.
And when I tell you that man was very meticulous about when I met her, what that first meeting was going to be like, the everything surrounding around incorporating her into my life, he had an idea. We
Mm-hmm.
talked about the idea, and I went along with what he wanted, and it it went great. But the one thing I don't know if we accounted for was outside forces getting involved with it. So you got to even think about that. It's so many components to this
Yeah.
that people do not stop and I'm telling y'all, listen, please. You have to talk about all of it. You have to. I'm speaking from personal experience and speaking from work experience. You got to talk about all of this stuff. There is nothing too small to discuss when it comes to blending families, when it comes to introducing your children. Like, there is nothing that is too small for you to discuss. Whatever pops up in your mind, talk about it. Talk about it. Like, you have to, because you don't, something will happen and that could cause a rift in between you and your potential spouse, or if y'all already married, you and your spouse. Like, you have to talk about it. You even got to think about, well, what's my role going to be? What is my role for your child, or what's your role for my child? You have to talk about all of that.
Mm. Wow. Yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely want to be old because what's what's one of the things I struggle with is communication. I didn't know I struggled with communication until I can't became Lord Jesus help me because I'm just you just tore me up right there. But my mind be like, whew. But I didn't know I struggled with communication until I walked into leadership.
Okay.
Because I have pastors and I have to communicate with, do this and do that, and I just get things done. And I don't. I just get. I'm the type of person that just gonna get it done. I'm
Mm,
not. I don't feel like going back and forth. Like I see something and I'm gonna just do it.
mm,
But I'm noticing that you have to overly communicate sometimes. Like in life,
mm.
you have to over because you can be misunderstood at any point. So you have
Yeah.
to via text, via talking. Like some people, even the way we communicate, sometimes they might take it the wrong way. So you have to overly communicate. So that's one of the things that I'm looking forward to learning how to do.
Mm.
Make some mistakes, that's how I learn. Make some mistakes and then figure it out.
Yeah.
Um, but I'm learning like dating and relationship, you have to overly communicate. Like, and that I've been living in it. Like, I ain't have to talk because I talk so much. I was like, I don't know, but I just lived in my own little bubble, and now I'm like, I got to come out of this bubble, and
Mm-hmm.
I really have to be talk. I really have to talk to people, like really overly communicate. That's a different thing right there for me.
And it is, because our communication always is that it is, I'll say, maybe this is a guess, 90% of what you say can be misunderstood.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to think about how your words are coming out
Mm-hmm.
before you speak, and then change the way your words or the way you want to present whatever it is that you're about to say if
Mm-hmm.
you feel like it will cause some type of offense.
Mm-hmm.
You have to, like, you got to stop and think. That is a legit thing. You have to stop and think. And I know I still mess up with that sometimes. But you got to stop and think, because any type of relationship, it doesn't matter who you're in relationship with, any type of relationship, you have to communicate. And when you communicate, you have to be sure that your communication is understood. They can repeat back what you're saying, so that whatever the discussion is can be heard, whatever you got to do needs to be handled, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
Communication is so, so important.
Yeah. I thought I was good at communicating, but obviously I was like, oh, okay, this is different. But you gotta like that's a whole nother thing for me because I'm used
Yeah,
to just saying what I say and that being it, you know.
yeah,
But sometimes they don't even. That's not enough. They need a little bit more. Like
yes.
yes,
Um, I didn't know how I communicated. Let me, relationships, your partner is going to be a mirror, y'all. Your partner is your mirror for real. So I didn't know how bad I communicated till I was dating my husband. Before that, if I said something to somebody, nobody got upset about it. But him, he was like, I'm gonna need you. I need you to work on how you talking to me, because this is not working. All
yeah,
of this that you say and all of this that you're doing, it ain't working. I can't I can't take it. So I had to figure out how to soften the way I spoke. I had to figure out how to change the tone of my voice, because I was like, look, I'm not used to dealing with no guy from the South.
yeah,
These guys up here, I gotta be hard talking to them. I be soft. I don't even know what that means. So I had to learn how to change all of that to make sure I I spoke to him in a way that he was comfortable.
yeah. Eesh. All right. But I'm like, yeah, I'm ready to see what it looked like, though. You know, like see
Yeah.
what the. I got a question for you, real quick. So,
Mhm.
how long did you guys date?
We we dated for, when did we get engaged? We dated for 2 years, and we was engaged for 2 years, and then we got married.
Okay, okay. Like I had time. So, how do you feel about people getting like married quickly?
It works for some people.
Okay,
It wouldn't have worked for me.
okay.
I thought it would have, but it would not have worked for me.
Oh wow.
I had a lot to learn. That's all.
Really? Oh, I'm glad he was patient with you.
Child, we had we bumped heads so bad. I was
Really?
like, yes, we bumped heads so bad, because I was like, we need to like do this tomorrow. And he's like, no, we need to work on all of this before we get there. We bumped heads so bad.
Okay.
Um, until I had to finally realize, okay, maybe he knows what he's talking about. It was a lot. Oh, we got some comments on Instagram. Hey, Kathy.
Hello.
She said, you're right. Good communication is hard. And also remember, some thoughts are best left as inside thoughts. That is the truth.
That's true.
So, but yeah, I wasn't as ready as I thought I was.
Yeah,
I had a whole lot that I still needed to learn. And you don't ever stop learning stuff, especially about your partner.
that's true.
So, let me think. So, how do you think, after we had that discussion, how do you think you will approach the things with when it involves your children when it's the time is right for your next man, your we praying final man?
I know. In the name of Jesus. Okay, so say it one more time. How do you think I will, how do I think I will approach?
Involving if he doesn't have any kids, how would you involve him? Get him into your life, incorporating him into your life, and then if he does have children, how you're going to incorporate him and his family.
Hmm. I'm I'm gonna be completely honest. I really don't know. Like I really
Okay.
don't know how this thing is gonna pan itself out or how it's gonna work. But I don't think I would want to introduce them right away.
Yeah.
I know some people I have heard stories where they did it right away because they wanted to see how they child respond to them. For me, I want to wait a while to see his characteristics first, to see like what type of man he is, his, how consistent he is. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to bring another person around my child and they're not the person that I'm supposed to be with, and
Yeah.
have my kids like, well, what happened to Mr. Johnny? You know what I mean? Like
Hmm. Hmm.
it's none of their business. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Until
Yeah.
it's time. So I think I would just wait until I feel like, okay, this is the time to introduce them, and also like if he has children, let's just make it a date. You know what I mean? Let's,
Okay.
if it's, if they're in the same city or whatever, like if we can do it like that, let's just make it all a date with all of us and just see how it goes and introduce each kid. You know what I mean? And talk
Mhm.
and like make it a routine until it's comfortable for every party, even the child. I don't know, I'm praying that if it is that the child's mother is okay, she has moved on and everything is okay. They are co-parenting very well. Because I'm not the type of person, for me as a woman, I never had issues with my children's, you know what I'm saying? Like their girlfriends or fiancés or wives. That's not the type of person I am. Like if that's who
Mhm.
you're with, and we're done. Because when I say I'm done, I'm done. I ain't one of the people that trying to double back and all that stuff. When I'm done, I mean she's finito. You can count on it.
Mhm.
She ain't coming back.
Mhm.
So whatever we got to do, the most important person in this situation is our child. Let's do the best thing for our child. And if you like this woman and you think, you know what I mean, cool. I mind my business until it's a problem. If it's ever a problem, then I will address it. But I'm not trying to be involved like that. You understand what I'm saying? Like if
Yeah.
my daughter, my sons, they like her, go ahead, have fun. You with daddy and daddy's wife or whoever. I'm okay with it. I'm really okay. I live it every day. My kids are in another state right now with their father and whoever. You understand what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
I don't call, I don't bother them. You know what I'm saying? I'm really deep. I really detach myself from that. So I don't. So I will expect that whatever I give,
Yeah.
the same thing I will get in return. I hope so. You know what I'm saying? Like I hope, I pray with all my might that that will be my story and that will be my testimony as well. But if not, then I guess we have to figure out how far, what does that look? You know what I'm saying? If it's too crazy, then baby, I can't do it. Like
Mhm.
try me. But if it is crazy, if it is like, calm, cool, collective, very content, a order is
Mhm.
set in place, then you get your child on the weekends and she don't bother you until you drop them off on Monday. If it's that type of situation, then cool. We gonna do all right. But if it's
Mhm.
anything else, then I think I don't know. I might have to hire you because you know what I'm saying, like because we want that's something like, and I do believe in count like. I'm not going to do this by myself. Like I don't plan
Yeah.
on doing this process by myself, and I don't think that any single woman that's going stepping back out there and that has a history of making repetitive cycles or doing stuff over and over again, making the same mistakes over and over again. We all human. God grace, cover us. I don't believe that you should do this walk this thing out without counsel. I really
Yeah.
believe that you should have more than enough counsel when it comes down to um dating again, and like and knowing, asking God who that counsel is, like what do they look like, you understand what I'm saying, like
Yeah.
God will show you who to talk to what about, like, and involving God in everything, of course. um but yeah, I hope I answered the question.
You did.
Okay.
I pray that you get that too,
Yeah.
because when that's not the case, it makes the situation so much more difficult.
That's on my. I had enough stress. I feel like I've been through too much in life that I don't feel like I deserve that. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like, not that I'm not gonna go through anything. It's not that, and I'm not saying I'm not willing to go through anything with my spouse. You understand? I really, I mean, that's not my heart. But I just feel like I don't want to go through like some stuff. I'm just like I'm not going through because of the things I have already experienced. I already have experienced in life, and that has to be already fixed before you even come to me. Because
yeah,
your children, they deserve to be happy. They deserve to be happy. And
yeah,
I don't want to get in between children and relationship and all that stuff and have them looking at me like I'm the bad person. Like I only hear certain situations where like they look at the spouse or the wife like you just took my daddy away from me or whatever. And I really don't want that. I want to be able to respect his children, he respect my children, and be of influence, a positive influence in their
hmm,
lives. Whatever, however that look sees fit. You know what I'm saying? However
hmm,
God sees fit for that. Be a positive influence, a role model, another role model, somebody that add on to add into their life, not take away. I don't want to take away nothing from nobody because I don't
yeah,
want you taking nothing from me. Like if you
yeah,
take my peace away from me and my kids and stuff, and these are I know they're my children, they will eventually move on and have their own lives. But for the right now, I'm responsible for them. So I don't want them like fearing Mr. Johnny. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
coming in like I don't want them to be uncomfortable. I want them to be as comfortable as possible with this new dynamic, this new journey that we're on. So it's a lot of qualities, and I feel like it's a lot. And I was just asking myself recently, like, or just a few days ago, like, are you willing to date somebody with children or not? Like, that's the thing I'm dealing with right now. Like,
mm-hmm.
we got to see what that looks like first, because I know that men with children, they have more experience, and men that don't have children don't have that experience. So they looking at it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Everything could be a problem when really it ain't really no problem. They're just being children. You know what I mean? Like growing into their own being or being their own being, then it can be confusing. But I'm just gonna let God really help me in that area, and I'm not gonna. I'm looking at everything. My eyes is wide open. I'm paying attention to everything. And if God say it's red, it's red. If He say it's green, it's green. If He say go, it's go. If He say stop, it's stop. Like I'm not going to like fight with it.
yeah, yeah. Um, I appreciate you saying that, because when we get into this part of the process, when you're ready to start moving and you're ready to start dating, a lot of times women
Hmm.
will, and I don't know, maybe guys do it too. I could just speak about women. Women will tell God what they need him to do instead of letting him do what he needs to do.
Yeah.
And that is a huge mistake, because we could get into a place where we know what we want
Yeah.
and we're not paying attention to what God is saying he wants for us.
Yeah.
And then that will turn into us getting hurt and prolonging the process,
You know.
because we weren't trying to listen to him from the beginning.
Oh, listen, I've done it enough to know. Like, I dated people courted people on enough, no sexual intercourse or anything like that. Actually, courted somebody for a year, and just kept like just kept like courting is important. And I was like, why did I put up with that?
Mm,
Like what's going on with you? So then I had to go dig and deal with me again. I say, you know what, like whatever it is, you have to just go with it. Like,
yeah,
yeah, because you're wasting time.
you are.
It's just like then you build this, this bond, and then you got to break this, this bond that y'all done, this friendship. Y'all done built the friendship off of not the best foundation, and y'all hurting each other because y'all know that y'all not good for each other. It's better just to do things quickly.
Yeah,
Like if you're lonely, if I feel like if as a woman, if you're saying I'm lonely, you shouldn't be dating because you're going to pick anything because you're lonely. Like you should be content and who you are and who you're becoming. You should be operating in purpose so that you don't get bamboozled out here. So like if I'm not, I learned to love being by myself, and it's like that's how I know that I'm getting to a place where I am about to make that step because I'm really okay. What do I, I'm not doing it. It's not an emotional decision. I'm not doing this out of my
Hmm.
emotions, out of loneliness, out of um just to for just for sex. Can we just be honest? It's not even that because I have waited long enough, and I know that even that does not even make me, even if I do was to do that, it wouldn't fulfill me. Like
Yeah.
it would almost make me feel depleted. Like it would literally suck something out of me. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like, nah, it got to be more. It has to come with purpose. It has to come with a bigger picture.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like a real big picture. Like it has to come. It has to make perfect sense. And like it has to come. It has to be like kingdom. It has to be.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like we have to move and shape in the earth. From like it has to be. It has to. I have to see the fruit of it. Like God.
Yeah.
Like I want to be fruitful.
Yeah.
I don't want to just be dating and just like we not doing nothing. Like I want to help some people. Like how can we help each other and help other people as well?
So I'm glad you said that women should not date if they feel lonely because that is a big trap too.
Yeah.
It's a huge trap,
Yeah.
and it happens all the time. You get stuck in this place where I'm lonely.
Yeah.
I need somebody, and meeting that somebody, you accept anybody.
Don't do it.
Your life is then you got one more soul tie you gotta break. Like it's too much.
Too much. You
Just
fasting for 5 days. You going on dry fast trying to get them out your spirit. Like it's not worth it, girl. You starving. Like how many times you gonna starve? Just because you listen to me. I did it. Don't do it because when it's time to move forward, God will have you. You have to cleanse yourself because you cannot go into that new relationship or the next level with all of that. You're gonna hurt somebody else. Somebody's gonna pay for something that they didn't even do. So
yeah,
you have to go through the process of even ridding yourself of those behaviors or how you operate the way you thought in that relationship or courting. So it's just not worth it.
it's not.
Mm-mm.
Don't waste your time.
Don't waste your time. You get connected to once you. I feel like once you get connected into purpose, and that's why I'm always purpose driven because then you will know what type of man you want. And then as you get connected to purpose, you won't even the people that you used to try to talk to you or reach out. They won't even look your way anymore because you don't even look appealing to them no more. You have elevated, so now you like it's a lot to this.
And even if they did try to reach out to you, you will be at a place where
Yeah, that too.
their head, big head means nothing to you.
Nothing. Right.
You
Right.
will
No, that's
not
true.
get
That's true.
excited.
You're not excited. Like you don't even care. It's like what do he like? You think I'm about to fall for this? Like like we ain't even doing it. But
I
that's
seen you coming last week. I'm good.
yeah. For real. Lord, listen, you can't listen. That Holy Ghost will tell it all the time, okay?
Yes. Yes. So, all right. I wanted to ask you this before. I don't think I asked you. When you got married before,
Yeah.
did you have a wedding?
No.
When you get married next, do you want a wedding?
I do. I,
Okay.
I do. I do want a wedding. I didn't get married when I first got married. I did not have a wedding. I just got, just as a piece.
Okay.
But I do want a wedding.
Okay.
I don't know if it's like a destination wedding or if it's like a real wedding. Because I'm really like exclusive with and who's like in close proximity with me. Like it has to have purpose connected to it. Like I'm really like I didn't know I was like this, but I'm just learning this about myself. You can't just be around me. Like like it got to be like I'm learning from you, you're learning from me. Even when it comes down to
Yeah.
friendships, like it has to be a fruitful situation. So I'm not bringing just anybody to my wedding. It will probably be very small.
Okay.
It will probably be very, very small on my side. And I don't know how it is on his side, but for the people that I will want there, it will be people that really help me. You know,
Mm-hmm.
that really support what I'm doing because I
Mm-hmm.
understand like the oh Lord help me. Like when people are close proximity with you, like I understand like people wishing bad on you. I understand that people, you know what I'm saying? Like covenant is not the easiest thing.
Mm-hmm.
Marriage is not easy, so I don't need just pointless people just around and involved in it, and they're not
Right.
called to help me in a way. You know, be a, you know what I'm saying, like, or coach me in a way, or yes, we got to be on the same, like, you know, like we got to be on the
Yeah.
same page.
Okay.
I'm not doing it for show. I'm not having this big old wedding just because I can, and just for people to come and say, "Oh, that wedding," and then I'm divorced. I'm not doing it. Like
Okay.
I want it to have. It has to be purpose. Like I need people that's around, like my mother, like my, of course, my family, but like other than that, baby, I don't know. I don't think it's gonna be over the people there.
Okay. And that's your right.
Yeah.
You ain't got to have a whole bunch of people there.
Mm-mm.
I was just curious.
Yeah, but I do want to wedding though. I do want to like walk down the aisle and all that good old stuff. Like I want to be, you know, cute in my dress and all that stuff. You know, shed a
Okay.
few tears. You know, I am like I do want that, but I just don't want. I don't. Yeah, I just don't want to do it for the people. I want to do it for us.
Okay. And you know what? Even if it's nobody but your families, that is perfectly fine.
Yeah,
That is what y'all want. That's what you have.
yeah.
They will be there supporting you and excited and all of the things.
Listen, not to talk about the woman, but did you see like you know all these people getting these big weddings and they ended in divorce? Like I'm like,
Yeah.
y'all spent all that money on these weddings,
Listen,
these people wasted these people's time, and y'all out here get
their gifts.
you know got all these you know wasted people's time, money, and y'all divorced a year later. No, no,
Yes.
I'm not doing it. I'm not doing. I couldn't do. I will just. My heart not set up like that. Like I no.
I mean, when it comes like marriage, so I always, how can I knew marriage was hard,
Hmm.
but I didn't know how hard until I got in it.
Come on.
I had no idea. I seen some marriages, and each of those marriages was different.
Hmm.
So I had no idea
Hmm.
what marriage would be like until I got in it. Not even so, me and my husband was living together before we got married.
Hmm.
Even I promise y'all, this is a thing. I believe it's a thing. I've seen it. So even with us living together before we got married, you would think that we would
Hmm.
start to, gel and all of that. But no, once you get to when it's a wedding, when you have the ceremony, when you give the make your vows and you say your vows in front of everybody, that is when your covenant happens, right? After that point on, regardless of if you were living together already or not, it is a complete shift because your identity shifts.
Hmm.
You're no longer boyfriend, girlfriend, or fiance, your husband and wife. And that shift is serious. I never knew about the shift till I experienced the shift. Like I said, we was living together.
Hmm.
We were living together a year or two.
Hmm. Hmm.
It was nothing like when we came home on the wedding night. Like it was completely different. You had a new sense of your identity. You had a new role that you had to play. So now this new role, like it's a whole thing. And I need y'all to realize that if you're single and you're watching, like this is a whole shift that happens. I don't care how long y'all been dating. I don't care how long if you live together beforehand. It changes. I'm trying to describe the change. I'm trying to make sure I say it in a way that you could get it, but it's a whole change, y'all. Like for real. Nobody can prepare you for that. Nobody. They could tell you, oh, it's a partnership and you gotta work hard. Yeah, all of that is true. But you live together, you think once y'all get married, it's just, oh, we just come home and we the same. No, it's not the same. And I don't know, maybe it's more of a spiritual thing than I'm considering it to be, but it is not the same. Trust me. There is a new adjustment that has to be made because now you got a new hierarchy in your home.
Ooh, talk about the hierarchy. No, that's the thing right there.
It's a new hierarchy. Like now, yeah, y'all was boyfriend, girlfriend. There was commitment, but there was no covenant there. And now that you said your vows, however you had your ceremony, whatever you did, you made your vows to each other. And once you made your vows to each other, you let God in. And now the hierarchy shifts because
Ooh,
now it's him, then it's your husband, then it's you.
you have to.
Nobody
He
talks about
said
it.
submission. That submission. Oh my God! I pray I do it well. Because we, us strong women, alpha women, it's like, it's like a little bit trickle for us. When we used to like taking care of stuff,
Yes,
we get used to getting it done. Like, what are you talking about?
yes.
I know how to do this, but then you got to do it their way. Like you got to learn to submit. Like, even though you might be right, and you
Mm,
go 9 times out of 10 we're gonna be right because we know what we know, what we know, right?
yes,
But you have to do it in a way for him, like make him feel like he's, you know what I'm saying? Like you gotta humble yourself, literally humble yourself all the way down in order for him to, for the household to even run and be and operate in the way that
yes,
God sees fit. It's a
yes.
God thing. That's what be getting me. Like it's a God thing. It's not really about us. It's not personal. Like yeah, he know you. You know, God knows. Like he made you a help me. He made you
Mhm,
alpha and that able to get things done. Like boop boop boop. But
mhm.
he's also a man. And he's
Yeah,
also the head of the house. And I point to him head of the house because whatever reasons God made it the way it be, we just have to learn to be okay with what God said. Like
yes.
I get you. That submission, I just pray that I get it right. I'm able to submit because I be ready. I move my neck. Like, what? I don't know who
Yes,
this joker talking to. Like
yes.
that's how it could be.
It
And I
is.
can fight, girl. Please, Lord.
Listen, I that adjustment period, you said it. That whole adjustment period is a humbling experience.
Mm,
It is very, like, for real humbling. Like you will get humbled quick
yeah.
in that adjustment period. So I'm telling y'all, get ready for it. If it goes a little more difficult than maybe you've heard others go through it, maybe you just had to keep adjusting.
Yeah.
Some people, it's real smooth for them. Great. I'm happy that it was smooth for you. That ain't everybody's story, though. That adjustment could be a nightmare.
Yeah.
Y'all got to be ready for it.
Thank you.
Not a lot of people talk, no, not a lot of people talk about that. Okay. So if y'all have any comments or any questions, go ahead and ask them now. Um, I'm gonna say, hey, Dr. Kishma. I don't know if you're still on, but hey, Dr. Kishma. Um, hey, mom. Hey, auntie. All right, let me go to Instagram. All right, Kathy said when I was first married and I was freaking out. A friend of my mom said marriage is for married. It is a huge change. It is. Yeah, that adjustment period, girl. But marriage is for married. That's a good quote.
Lord.
My goodness. So, is there anything? Is there anything else? we need to hit on for your future?
No, I'm excited to see what's to come. I'm
Me too.
excited to see. I'm excited to see because I just feel I'm just excited to see like who, what, how, when, where, why.
Mhm.
Why? Because I just know that God got a reason for doing every single thing, and I just can't wait to see like how God do what He do.
Mhm.
And I'm excited. I'm no longer. I used to feel like I had to have everything together, and then you
Okay.
encourage me to know like, nah, you was in a relationship, and like you ain't have it all together, But he was gracious enough to help you through your process of, becoming. So I'm
Yeah,
even optimistic about that, like because sometimes we feel like we have to have everything together will hold us in a place where, God is trying to push us out, and we like, no, I gotta have this together, that together. I mean, you should have some things
you
together. Like you
should.
can be all over the place. I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying is, as you operating and you walking in purpose, like you're able to, you can let your hair down a little bit. Like you don't have to be perfect in this.
You don't. And I mean, you both are going to help each other through that process because it's going to take both of y'all.
That's true.
I mean, it's your relationship. You are nurturing your relationship like you're nurturing a newborn to make it grow to an adult. So you are both working at it. Just one of you might need a little more help than the other. Oh my goodness. Well, I'm so glad
Me too. I
we
had a
got
good
you
time.
back.
I had a good time.
Okay. Kathy is correcting her quote. She said marriage is for the married.
Yeah.
I got you, Kathy. Um, but I'm glad that you asked me about doing the month of March. I'm really happy you asked me about that. Y'all, if you want to be a guest on the Love Experience show, let me put my contact up for y'all. You want to be a guest on the Love Experience show, reach out to me on all my social media at it's Ashley JW, and my email is ashley at it's ashleyj.com. I am I'm happy.
Me
I'm
too.
happy we did this. I'm happy that you got me on here.
Yeah.
Um, I appreciate you.
I appreciate you too. I think
Yo,
you're kind of dope. I think you're so humble and so dope. I
thank
got
you.
one question though before we go. So, what do you got to say about? Because it just hit me. I was like, oh, you got to say this about online dating.
That's how I met my husband.
Oh, okay, 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 okay. Oh,
We
okay,
met online. I know there's a lot of different experiences with it.
okay.
My experience happens to be good. That's not everybody's experience, but um, I would say just like, or maybe something people need to start doing is vetting the people that they are agreeing to meet and date.
Okay.
And that if that includes running a background check, then do that.
Sure.
But I suggest just because things is different than when I met him. It was when did we meet? 2011, 2011, 2012, one of them. And it was I mean there was online dating sites, but it's not like it is today. It's way more available today.
Yeah.
So be choosy with your site that you pick and your selection. Pay attention to some buzzwords that they may have on their profile, and even pictures, the type of pictures they have on their profile. You gotta pay attention to all of that because that that's where people get trapped.
Okay.
And go with your gut. Go with
Okay.
your gut and go with the Holy Spirit.
Yes, Lord. All right.
All right, y'all. If you do not have anything else to say, then I will see y'all. I guess I'll be back next week. If you got something for me to talk about, If I don't have a guest, if you had something for me to talk about, reach out to me and I will talk about it. And if you would like to be a guest on the Love Experience show, that's how you reach out. You get in contact with me on all my socials, and I'll set you up with a day. All right, y'all.
Yes, come on, y'all, because we need to know what's going on. We need some. We need some. Listen, we need some experience. Okay. We need to know your story so we can know how to do this thing. Okay.
Yes. And no story is good. I'm not looking for
Helps.
fairy
It helps
tales.
us. You know.
Yeah, I like I give me the horror story, give me all of the stories. It doesn't matter because your story will help somebody else. All right. So I will see you next week, next Thursday at 8 p.m. And there's only one thing for me to say, and that is, what is your love experience? I'll see y'all next week.